Hello, my name's Christian, or Chris, depending on when you first met me. That's for anyone who can't read or doesn't actually know what they're doing on the group already. I am going to do an MS Awareness video every day this week for MS Awareness Week. Instead of bombarding you with lots of pictures and videos that I did last year, which you probably just scroll past, I don't know. I thought I would just sort of explain a little bit about my MS, which is my MS. It's not Dave's, Brian's, Maria's, Sarah's, or anybody else you might know. It's like personal to me. So I will start at the beginning. I think I was 26 when I first had numbness in my face. My whole right side would just collapse. I remember being in the kitchen with my wife, ex-wife now, and hanging on to her because my whole right side would just drop. And that lasted 20, 30 seconds and then would go away. And then might happen again a few hours later, whenever. But then nothing until 2007, so I was 31. And again, it was the paralysis, double vision, so I could see a picture of you, all the way out of my. So the only way I could see properly was if I closed one eye. I was driving like that as well, taking my kids home. Stupid. I didn't know what was going on. Absolutely terrified. The numbness was so bad. It was like I say, it would be like on the first day, it would just happen. I'd get numb, face would drop. Day two, it would do that again, and then a few hours later, day three, it would do that 3 or 4 times. Day five, a few more times, and then until like the middle of the attack, it would be as one was finishing, another one would start, and my arm was flapping around because it was the feeling in my arm, the nerves felt like they were just like that. So I tried to lay on my hand or I'd flap it about so that I couldn't feel it, and it must have looked very odd. But yeah, that happened, and I got taken into hospital after my doctor asked me to do pigeon steps. And if you remember what pigeon steps were when you was at primary school, like heel toe. And he asked me to do 5 of those, and I couldn't do them. I just kept falling over. It's like, oh my God, what on earth? Because I didn't know I couldn't do pigeon steps because you don't do them unless you're at primary school. So I didn't know. So I got into hospital. They thought, first of all, that I had having Bell's palsy, which is like loads of mini strokes. But then after a chest x-ray, MRI, CAT scan, blood tests, all the other sort of tests they do on you, I think I was in there for a week. They let me out to go to the pub to watch the Merseyside derby and England win the World Cup. So it was then in the Rugby World Cup. So I went home to do that. So I obviously wasn't overly concerned, as in I was going to die, but they let me go home for that. So I think they knew pretty much then what was going on. So yeah, then I went back, and the last thing the neurologist did was ask me to do some more pigeon steps, which again I failed, and he said, "Very sorry, you've got multiple sclerosis," which was kind of a relief because of all the stuff that was going on before, people thinking I was lazy or just rubbish. It wasn't just in my head. Well, actually, it was just in my head, but it's not something I was making up. So getting a diagnosis was quite a relief. And then after that attack finished, I then just went back to normal, back to work, back playing football, back to normal. And it wasn't until much later on that things sort of, I think with secondary, I moved from like relapsing remitting, which is like the most common form of MS to get diagnosed with. I moved from that to secondary progressive. So that just means relapse remitting means you have an attack, then you have remission, you go back to your normal life, and then you have another attack, and then you go back to remission. So with secondary, you don't necessarily have the attacks, but you just slowly get worse, and that's where I am now. So I now use a walking stick most of the time. I walk around the house just bouncing off the furniture, but outside I have to have a walking stick, or I've used a wheelchair, or my rollator, which, you know, the little granny thing with a basket on the front, or which I've got now, which is the most common one, is my scooter. I sort of live on my scooter now, which has enabled me to go on cruises and theatre trips and whatnot. So yeah, so that's where I am at the moment. So it's not all fun and games. But say I might do more of these videos in one day. So if you see me post 2 in a row wearing the same clothes, I am not a dirty scoundrel, okay? It's just that I filmed it the same day, I promise, okay? Right, tomorrow, I actually, part of MS is like your memory goes a bit rubbish. So I actually wrote down a list that I was going to do on each day, and I have forgotten to bring it in with me to the dining room. So it's no good writing a list and then forgetting to bring the list with you, is it? So I've forgotten what day 2 is, but I'm sure I'll know what day 2 is all about by the time I film it. Okay, so if you have any questions about anything to do with anything, write them in the comments, and I'll try and answer them best I can. Okay, thank you for watching if you've watched, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.